Welcome back to opening day of the Oi Rio Pro. We're coming at you live from Saquarema, about an hour's drive east of Rio, and the crowd has packed in for day number one of competition. And there's a very good reason for that, because one of the superstars of the sport is in the water right now. Gabriel Medina up against Adrian, Buchan and Soli Bailey. Wobble in the way that you can't really see on the naked eye. Talk us through what he's talking about here.
Yeah, you see there, that was unfortunate, wasn't it? It almost looked like there was some confusion there as to whether just to go for a straight air and kind of go horizontal and land back in front of it, or to go for the air reverse.
On the CT for over a decade, got 2 championship tour wins, and incidentally, both those wins came over Kelly Slater. Here we go. This is Gabriel Medina. You know what he's going to do. Telegraphing the big air, big rotation, gets the grab in. Unfortunately, he just loses the inside edge as he doesn't quite ride out of that one.
And it's so interesting when you see Gabriel approaching this heat. It's obvious what he wants to do, and you know, both of his rides, he's gone to the air and thrown caution to the wind. I suppose the #1 surfing nation in the world, which it would be fair to call them now.
230 heat wins, going for 231 in this one. That's a better start from Medina. Just jinxed him as he went out a bit too far on the rail on that extension, and just disengaged. He qualified in 2011 as a 17-year-old with another surfer by the name of John Florence. Rivalry forms over the last couple of years.
When that mid-year rotation took place.
That's right. There goes Ace Buchan, finaled here before. One of the veterans on tour. He's just welcomed a new baby boy into the world. Congratulations to Ace and Beck, and of course had a bit of injury towards the end of last year. Has come back with a couple of 17th, a 5th in Bali, and then a 33rd in Margaret River.
You know, I didn't get to commentate or wasn't involved in those first events, as we see Medina a quick in and out there. So I watched them from home, and finding that flow in your performance so that things happen. Gabe having another look.
Yeah, deciding to go right on this one. Barton, nice big fan on that opening turn. There's a second turn, locking in a couple of combinations. This is going to be Medina's best wave, and finishes off strongly with a strong closeout turn there for Medina.
Looked a little forced, and looks like he's got a better flow there, but look at the backhand and the squirt underneath Gabriel Medina's board. The way the board sits up in the water, and it's always on top of the water. The rail's never in the water.
That'll be his best wave of the heat so far. And this looks like Soli Bailey now opening up his account. Nice and square on those bottom turns, but the face a little flat on these ones, so he's having to do a lot of work to wrap that rail around. 5th place at Sunset last year, and 9th to qualify, in 11th place on the qualifying series. He now opens up his score here at Saquarema.
On the left-hand side of our screen there is where the channel, and they'll drop them off. And you see that effect of the wave warbling there underneath his board on the replay. Snap back into the pocket. Another little snap there in the pocket. This turn, when it stands up, you see board sits up on the water, gets a little flare out at the top. Another little snap there. So he's really done everything he could on this.
And this was during the break. Ace Buchan looked like he's picked a better one here, bud.
A little bumpier on the face. You can see that wind save chopped things up a bit, but nice flow, good speed. Another snap out of the top there. You can see it. The board slowed down on that turn. Here's Medina, watch out. Air alert, air alert. Oh no. This one's got that wobble too, so he ends up just going to the rail and getting those re-entries in. It was an unusually surfed wave, I suppose you would say, wasn't it? There was kind of this disconnect, and it looked like he had something in his mind that he wanted to do, and the wave was going, not yet, no, not giving him the chance, so he had to adapt on the fly.
Thanks for watching on Fox Sports. 10 minutes remaining in the second seeding round of the men's surfing at the Oi Rio Pro. This is Gabriel Medina, your current world champion. Up and riding on the outside. There's a nice click air reverse. Pretty smooth transition. The crowd love it. You can hear them outside the booth cheering on their champion as he makes his way down through the inside section. Yeah, this one's standing up. A few bonus sections on the inside here from Medina. Damage has been done on the outside, but he'll ride it all the way through. Tags it strongly. He likes that one. Barton Lynch.
I liked it too, mate. And with 10 minutes to go, it's a battle between Ace Buchan and Soli Bailey, you would say, for 2nd and 3rd place. 3rd going to the elimination round. You do not want to be there, and neither of these guys do. But Gabriel Medina there, a couple of waves on the fly. On this replay, there's the air. There was a first float in the air. You see his footing there. He nearly lost his footing, but he gets it back together, and he's able to just float through. I love this turn coming up right here. Snap! Just a beautiful, big, tail-wafting snap. Not much wave there, not a lot of power. but the board and he are so synced and so perfect together, and you see Mum,
Family
she
loves
loved
it
it.
too. So what you're saying is that 8.37 requirement from Soli is going to be a very, very tall order.
I would think
Given what
so.
we've seen so far. Well, here he goes. 8.37 required to go into first place. He's currently holding on to second. Opening jam into the pocket. There's a second turn. Clicks that tail out. It just buries the nose at the same time and goes down. 6:40 on the clock.
I mean, obviously you want sets, but I was about to say I'd be looking for some rights and use that backhand because that is his weapon. Gabriel Medina comes out of the top there, goes for a little spin, doesn't make it, but Ace Buchan's backhand is one of the very best we've ever seen.
Great to see him back. Meanwhile, this is back to live action. Soli Bailey, nice click on that first turn. Gets the board up in vertical, but looking like his timing's a bit out in those last two turns, but unable to find those finishing turns. A few left now, rolling through the lineup, and it's going to be Soli Bailey just further down the inside track. Nice little floater to get this one started. Can he get the board up and over that section? He does. Two-turn combination from Bailey, holding on to a 1.97. And he's trying to extend this lead over Adrian Buchan, who requires a 2.71 now to go into that second place.
It was the biggest wave we've seen ridden in the heat, and this second turn here, you watch it really late to the party, but gets up there beautifully and clean, and the board just flowed through it. So two nice turns there, and I figure that that's going to be his best score so far.
Been on the tour for over a decade with 2 championship tour wins under his belt, but here goes Medina, the current world champion. Tags that one with a bit of drift on the fins. Doesn't like what he sees down the end section. Here we go, Ace Buchan now. This is the track he's been looking for. Front side wrap to start off with, set up turn. He's going to get one more opportunity here, up and over. And nothing flashy there, BL, but getting a couple of turns in, and 3 minutes remaining. He might need to change gears pretty soon. 0.37 on this one now because of, or 4.10 rather, because Soli's last wave, 3.37, and 4.10 we're getting through.
Couple of turns, you see the second turn there, just a little late. Here we go, this first wrap. Nice clean face in front of him. Gets a beautiful carved little whip in the tail at the back end. Here I think he's going, I thought he was going to go for a big layback snap off that one. It got thrown up by a bit of backwash and then came down faster than Ace thought.
He's still got that knee strapped as we see Gabriel Medina through the inside track over here, getting his fins free on those first two turns. Just laying back in that white water, disconnecting from his board. Minute and 50 seconds remaining. Well, he's used his priority on this one with 25 seconds on the clock. He's chosen to go right. Front side wrap on that first one. Not a lot of speed going into that rotation, but somehow gets enough drift on that tail. Medina on the inside, you know what he's going to do. Big rotation, a lot of whip in that turn. 8 seconds on the clock, incomplete for Medina. And looks like Soli Bailey is going to hold on to this one button as the clock winds right down.
There it is. That's the end of that one. Medina was busy, just kept building, kept riding. 12 waves he rode in that heat. Some great air attempts, and you would call that a good warm-up for he. Unfortunately for Ace, he's going to the elimination round.
We're going to take a short break from here. When we come back, it's going to be Capo Guerrero and Martin Potter for more action. We'll see you right after this.